It took great pain and great dreams. It took sweat equity, blood equity, neology to bring this place here from Los Angeles and bring it up from San Diego and bring it up when it was down. Like Jonah went down, down, down. Like the 4th chapter of Moby Dick, greatest sermon to ever be preached on prayer out of a whale's belly. Came up. Jonah came up. The axe head came up. LABI is coming up. Do you see it coming up? It's been prayed for. It's been anointed. It's God's place. You're God's man for this moment. And he said, I like that story. It's a great story. It's an academic story. It's an educational, institutional story. And in chapter 2 of 2 Kings, Elijah tested Elisha. This is your test. And so far, so good. You got the lawn trimmed, for crying out loud. You got that fountain going. And it's not a planter. Man, my God, you even got USC colors coming up in the flower bed. You have great ambition. You're doing a great thing here. And I see the axe head coming up to the top. At Gilgal, Elijah said, Elisha, stay here. And Elisha says, as the Lord thy God liveth, I will not leave you. And he walked on as the old man leaned on his shoulder. As the years of tradition and prayer and soul searching leans on you, your strong shoulders. And he came to Gilgal and he said, stay here, Elisha. I'm going further. And he said, as the Lord lives, he goes, I will not leave you. And he leaned on them some more, and I could see the two of them walking, one halting, the other one holding them up as they walked toward Jordan with his rendezvous with that heavenly chariot. As he got to the river Jordan, the road was getting too long, and he said, as God lives, he says, stay here, Elisha. And he says, as God lives, I won't. At Jericho, the same story. And at Jericho, 50 students came out. That because the school of the prophets had closed down. 50 students begging for leadership. 50 sons of the prophets that would fill the next generation vacuum of spiritual and moral leadership in Israel. A vacuum left by Ahab and Jezebel after 450 prophets of Baal were neutralized by Elijah, this austere 6'4" athlete who outran a chariot with a long beard and mud and blood caked under his fingernails. Someone you wouldn't want to run into behind Albertsons at night. It left a vacuum in spiritual leadership. The leaders of that bull-headed god and those fertility goddesses of the pagans were dead. Israel needed to be revived. And Elijah started inviting the school of the prophets from around all of Israel to fill that void and to train them in the schools of the prophets at 4 different sites. Because the need was great to change the culture, to provide the people of Israel with the moral compass, with the spiritual compass, to return them to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Where would they come from? Where would they go? They had to prepare that leadership for the future. America needs leadership for the future. America, we have lost our moral compass. And God has chosen you to prepare next generation leadership, to make the axe head float, to sharpen the axe. And so they came out looking for leadership. And they stood on the banks and they said, hey, Elisha, did you know that God will remove your mentor from you? Shh, I know that, but behind that I hear a lilting sigh of a lack of leadership from those prophets, young prophets. They're really asking this question: are you going to follow? Will you continue the tradition? Will you open up the schools? Will you provide a place? Or is this thing that Elijah started over? Do you have what it takes? Now then, God wasn't looking for a Moses. He wasn't looking for a Joshua. There's a time for a Moses. There's a time for a Joshua. There's a time for charisma. But in America, this is not the time for charisma. This is the time to go deep in the roots of leadership. You should have clapped right there. Shh. I'm almost done. I see you sweating in the sun. Go with thy servants is what the students are asking. Will you come with us so that you own that solidarity? They come first. Buildings and all that stuff, that's second. But that's in your heart. Will you go with thy servants is the question. A good rapport with the students. They would not have moved forward without Elisha's vision. And I want to keep that word vision in the philosophy of leadership. Somebody handed me a book. I'm on another board, and the president, he's a well-meaning young person, and he gave me a book that's supposed to be a good book on leadership. And one of the chapters in this sorry book said, chuck the vision. It says this, it says, chuck the vision thing. But as long as we're Pentecostals, we're going to hang on to the vision thing because that's the axe head that floats. Is your hand broken? Will you clap with the students, everybody here in the middle? Will you clap? Nobody's going to bite you. Is your hand broken? Thank you, students. The answer is what? I will go. I will go. The answer is I will go. Robert Cook, the answer is I will go, Lord. You chose me, Lord. All you at Vanguard, Azusa Pacific, Life, I will go. This is just for him. It's something for all of us. And if you go, listen. If you go, listen. There's some burdens that come with that. There's some constraints that come with the axe head that floats. One, the constraint of vision and direction. That's yours. You got to shoulder that. Two, the constraint of progress and advancement. Three, the constraint of applied faith in the face of impossibilities. That's not a secular constraint. It's a Pentecostal constraint. You believe in miracles, and the axe head will float because God is a God of the impossible. 4, the constraint of responsibility. It falls on you, friend. The dean did it. No, it comes back to you. Or, if there's something to thank God about, say thank you. Move on. Give God the glory. 5, the constraint of accumulated hurts. You're going to carry that. They add up, friend. And like President Obama, your hair might be a little whiter after a couple years. 6, the constraint of seeking resources at the edge of the Jordan. You got to know where the trees are at. Now, thank God that that student was pointing the axe in the right direction. Because Deuteronomy 19 talks about if your axe flies off the handle and hits somebody, you better run to a city of refuge. We're going to pray that that axe don't fly off your handle, brother. Is anybody following the metaphor? Make the axe head float. And when it comes down to the top, reach out and take it. And then put it on the handle, for crying out loud. No axe head is good unless it's on the handle. The handle is the church of Jesus Christ. You put that axe, you put that next generation, you put these beautiful children here, sharpened, toughened, wielded, and swing it. And build a school for the prophets. The stick, that's the cross. And the cross is the overlay on 35 feet of water that makes the impossible possible.